Everything you see here is strictly informational. Forex is a high-risk business. Please do not place trades with more money than what you don't have. Please do not trade other people's money. Do not borrow any money than what you cannot trade with. And please take everything that I say as a personal opinion. I am not considered a financial advisor. I'm not considered a broker. I am just one here simply recording my journey along learning the markets.
What's up, guys? Ted here with Bodies and Wicks. Yeah, you couldn't see me for a second. That was on purpose. But I wanted to do a little tutorial, little thing for people that may not be using TradingView. And I want to do kind of like a tutorial on it, show you what it does and it can do. If you guys are interested, they are actually having a Black Friday sale. It's happening for the next couple days. I actually took advantage of this. Basically what they're offering is a full year subscription for about half the price that you would pay for a month. I am honestly getting no money out of this, unless, of course, you sign up through my link. I get coins, or I guess you tokens or something like that is what they reward you. And those coins and tokens can go toward, getting like a monthly subscription, things like that. You can also give other people coins, tokens, things like that, if you think like they're doing good work and you're following their signals and you're making money off them, things like that. So I guess to understand that, you would actually have to understand what TradingView is. So let me hop over to TradingView and give you an idea. All right, so of course this would be the first thing you're going to see on the TradingView platform. Telling you that there is a Cyber Monday sale. Basically, it's the same thing as the Black Friday sale that they had. So if we click Learn More, they do. So for Pro, and it gives you the differences between Pro Plus, and Premium. I am on Pro Plus. That's good for me. Premium is definitely for definitely full-time people who want to look into the full history of any kind of currencies, things like that, things that can be dated back multiple 20-something years. With Pro Plus, you don't have that. You only have a certain time limit that you can go back, especially with certain time frames. Like if you want to do a 15-minute, you won't be able to get that going back like 10 years. You would do that with Premium, of course. So Pro is pretty basic. It's still good for beginners, so I would say to try to take a look at each of these and see which one is right for you. So now that we know what the actual thing is, this is what you can do. So let me just actually go back to the beginning and hit back. What you can do is, let's say you want to search for something that you want to look at, right? So let's say you're a stockbroker or you're a stock market person, and you want to just see how Tesla is doing, right? You can easily type in Tesla. Good thing is that there's this thing called All Stocks Futures, Forex. It has all the different, cryptocurrencies, indices, all these types of things. So best thing you can do is go all or stocks, since that's where you know where Tesla is. We click on Tesla, right? And what it does is it gives you kind of a generic chart of what Tesla is, and you can compare it to the different kinds of what are they called, the indices. So the SPX, the IXIX, the Dow Jones. So you can see how it's in comparison to those actual indices. You can tell Tesla is definitely outbeating all the indices. But that's just kind of like a quick look. Gives you some also people that post ideas. They will show up in those in Tesla's I guess board, you could say. So, you can post your own ideas and things like that. Take a look at them. The people that post these ideas are generally people that have experience in the industry. So you can follow them and try to, see if that's something, you want to implement, your trading style around. So if you actually wanted to post some kind of idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my page. So here I am Tedzily. If you want to find me, my link will be provided after this video here. And there's a couple things I've called lately, and they've primarily been in the Forex industry, Forex market. So I'm calling right here the EURUSD is going to be on a false breakout. Yes, there are a lot of lines in my my charts, and that's because I try to designate daily highs, daily lows. Those are going to be very important levels, as price moves through them, come back to them, things like that. Also breakers and order blocks. So I usually try to have as many of those mapped out as I can. Once you put something that you predict, you can hit play and you can see where it has moved. Right, so I had 3 different entries for this before I think it's gonna fall. It hit my first and it hit my second entry, I think. No, it didn't hit my second entry. It was just short of that, but I still entered a second entry. Then here, you can, during your analysis, you can provide as much information as you want. As you can see, I put up a lot of things. I put it in the correlation as to where the dollar is concerned, as considering this is the euro versus the dollar. You want to look at the dollar as far as the correlation goes, and then you want to see where it's going. You want to kind of have a look back at this is my look back at euro USD, and if it's coming up to resistance or not, which to me it looks like it is, and especially since the dollar is at a very, very low point. It looks like since it's at a low point, it's going to be at some kind of support, which means it would probably pull up. If that pulls up, that means foreign money is also going to pull down. So they go the opposite direction when the dollar strengthens. So that's just kind of a general idea of how you can post your own. How do you post your own? Well, let's see here. You go to, let's say I want to post my own thing about Ethereum, right? Which actually good thing I was looking at this, because I just made a couple bucks off this by trading using a MetaTrader 4. I saw it get to this high and I had these levels knocked out, so I sold as soon as it hit like one of these levels. I waited until, and I'm on the 5-minute chart, mind you, so I'm on a very, very small chart. I was watching the price action. The price action dipped down to here. Once it dipped down to here, I sold. Right, so I bought here at 569. I sold here at 564. I got a $5 profit off that, just in a matter of 20 minutes or something like that. So, that's basically scalping is what it is. So, I scalp here and there on the crypto industry, just because I don't want to get too head over heels, because I'm primarily involved in the Forex. But if you saw my video yesterday, I basically outlined, the market maker sell and buy models. I have left my track here. Strangely enough, it's kind of followed my track as to what I thought it was going to do. It didn't get as high as what I thought, but it still has the potential to go higher. It could retrace, come back down to here, and then go higher. But the thing is that how do you make your charts look like this? That is a good question. So let's just say, here, I'm going to save this really quick, and then you can go to load chart layout. So here you can save as many different chart layouts as you want. So if I wanted to save this as a different one, right, you can put new chart layout. Yeah, actually that didn't work at all. What you can do, I think it's save, maybe rename, autosave. Can't remember exactly how to do it, but I know that you can create, personalize multiple different layouts. Maybe if you hit load new chart layout, then you can rename that one. I would have to play around with it because it's been a while since I actually have done this, to be honest. But I do have multiple different chart layouts. So if I were to go to, see, this is the EU. I wanted to go back to EURUSD, or not EURUSD, Ethereum, right? Ethereum, ETH, USD. So you can type it in. It gives you the same thing. So here it gives you different prices for the different brokers that have it. Bitfinex, Kraken, how they differ. They might not differ too much, but if you click all of them, you can kind of see them all there. I guess they're all pretty much together on this same line, so it's not like it's going to make much of a difference. Click full chart layout. Right. So now all of mine are here. What I wanted to do was go to load chart layout and then get another one of this one, right? So what I want to do is I want to clear all of clear everything that I've put on here off, right? So that way I can start from new. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to back this out a little bit. We're going to go to a 4-hour time chart, right? And so 4-hour time chart, as you can see, a little bit different. So every candle represents 4 hours, and there's a little trash can down here, right? Whenever you can actually hit hide too. Trash can will remove all the drawings. If you hit hide, then you can just hide them. You can always bring them back by hitting Control Alt H. So I'm going to hide them for now. And let's say you wanted to do some kind of analysis on this. Let's say you wanted to draw a trend line. This one has trend line with info, so this one is a little bit different. If you wanted to just draw a generic trend line that you see, you can pull it way back here, right? And well, shit, it brought back all my stuff. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to delete this, and then we're going to start from scratch. And let's say I have a trend line that I believe is going to be doing this, right? So there we go. There's a trend line that I decided I wanted to draw, and there's my trend line. I think this is what, there you go. So I have this trend line here. If you want to expand it, you can easily do so. Click it down here at the bottom. Generally, this thing can float around, so you can bring it around, do what you want with it. And then it gives you the different options. If you click this will give you, if you want to put an arrow at the end of it, right? Or if you want to extend it, right? If you want to extend it, you extend it right. There's another one. If you want to extend it left, you can extend it left. So you get the full line, and see if it's like, interacting with any other kind of, lines or as well. But so far it hasn't been. So this is just, a short kind of trend line that you have here. Also, it gives you the different information, not exactly for sure. I guess for up and down, it goes up 132. But if we get rid of one of these, this may actually no. Okay, so it's still 132. It goes through 528 bars over 87 days. And I think that's the original one, right? And the angle is about 12 degrees. So that is the trend line with information. If you didn't want the one with the information, you can click here, go to trend line, and then do the same thing, and then you just don't have the information, right? So that's the main difference between those two. But you can add things, and that's what I've done. So as you can see, if I drew this trend line here, it says 4 days, 79 hours, and that's because in the settings here, I do believe I have added something like that. Yeah, so here at the end I put show date and time range. So you can add as much information as you want to this. So if you want to, you can just click on all of them, right? Let's just do that and let's see what happens. And now you have basically the same thing that we had before, except for you were able to kind of customize it. So let's go back to the settings, and I want to extend line right, and show date and time. That's what I wanted, because that's what I like. And then there you go. So you can do the same thing with all different kinds of lines, vertical lines. You can do parallel channels, which these are interesting. So parallel channels, let's say if we wanted to try to get this in a panel, best thing to do would be to get a magnet. So if you click that magnet, it's going to follow along each candle, and it's going to try to connect to the most nearest candle, right? So let's say, here we go. If I wanted to draw the channel, I wanted to get here as that part of the channel, and then now you can draw the channel up and down, right? So there you go. Now we have somewhat of a channel that the price action had run through, right? And then now you're getting away from that channel. If you're a retail person, this might be good for you, because whenever you see it exit a channel, then most people are usually apt to try to trade off of that channel. That way it goes the opposite way. So that's just the channel part of it. There's multiple different things that you can do as far as that is concerned. Let's say you're a pitchfork trader, right? So if you've never used a pitchfork, what you do is you can kind of find a channel to where things are going by simply doing this, and then this will be kind of like the top part of the channel, right? And you got to find an anchor. Well, I didn't really do it correctly, but okay, so the back is the anchor. Got it. So like I said, I don't really use the pitchfork all that well. So the back would be the anchor. Let's say we go here, and then we go to the bottom, right? And then we go to the top, right? So you could, or we could go this way to the top of this guy or something like that. And there we go. Now you have a pitchfork that has a kind of a faux channel because, maybe I didn't get all the points in there correctly. There we go. And maybe this guy just needs to move forward a little bit or something. There you go. So, you can kind of play around with the pitchfork. That way you can get a channel, a good idea where the median is and where it's going to. And then, so kind of like the same thing as the parallel channel as before, but the pitchfork is just a little bit different way of playing with it. Also a big tool, Fibonacci. This is what I use primarily. And I have a specific Fibonacci tool or setting that I use, because you can modify and create your own settings. So let's say I wanted to use the Fibonacci tool for this, right? So my settings don't have the normal ones. I have a 50% setting, a 62%, a 70.5, and a 79. Primarily because this is the area, if it ever is to retrace back to this area, let's say, actually I should probably use it more on this here than anything, because now that since it is above this area, we're going to be looking to see if it's going to come back down to this area, because this is discount price for this area. So, or once you get down to around these areas here, you're probably going to see more buying opportunities than you are selling opportunities. Right now what you're seeing is probably selling opportunities with Ethereum, right? So because it is up top, if we actually were to flip this the other way, we would see the same thing, right? So if I can get it to get to the bottom, that's the bad thing sometimes about the magnet, is that sometimes you have to kind of widen things out and kind of guide it to where it's supposed to go, because if everything's kind of crunched together, it's really not going to know where it's going to go. So now that we went from down here to up here, if it was to come down here and then break this, then we would look for it to come back somewhere in this area for another sell. So it just depends on how you analyze the market, and if it breaks certain areas, are you expecting it to come back? It just depends on what kind of technical trader you are. If you're not a technical trader, this is the perfect tool, and that's why I'm trying to kind of explain it. Let's get away from Ethereum. Let's go with what the kids are looking at these days, which is NIO. Right, everybody's thinking this thing is blasting off, and I'm not gonna lie, it has been since April, May. This has just been one company that has just been having extreme great growth. But the question is it going to last? I think that's the question a lot of us have been asking. Whenever you have this type of growth happen really fast, you usually have a pretty steep fall as well. So if you're thinking that it could possibly have a steep fall, the question is, where are you going to buy next, right? So that's one of the things you need to take into consideration. How do you come to some kind of conclusion as to where to buy next? Well, that's just by studying, technicals. If it did come down to, for me, if I'm looking at this, I'm not buying it up here, right? I'd rather take my chances and wait to see if it's going to come back down to 29.35. I know a lot of people are laughing out there going, oh God, it's never going to come back down to 29.35. Well, to me, buying at 54, to me, I'm thinking I'm a little bit late, right? I would rather wait to see if the market is going to bring it back down to 29.35. And the reason for 29.35 is because we do have this motion here to where it goes up, dips back down, and then goes this way. So this would be considered a buy side breaker, right? Because it has a low, a high, and then a higher low. So this area here would be a key area to buy, and to see if it doesn't get below each of these lows, right? If it does get below each of these lows, then I would probably jump out of the trade. And well, I don't know if I would, because now you're hitting more resistance areas down here, right? And that just gives it more of an opportunity to go up. So that's why I'm thinking, wait for a pretty big drop, about half of what it is, if it's going to get there. If it doesn't get there, I probably won't invest in NIO. And if I do, I'll probably find a different, support resistance area as to where I would buy, basically. So, it has all the different, you can change a lot of different things. Whenever you first start, you have a regular background. You can change, all the different types of appearances, things like that. For your bodies, of your candles and things like that. If you want to use candle charts, some of you may not want to use candle charts. You can come over here. You can use the bar chart, which the bar chart basically tells you when things opened and closed, right? And it kind of gives you, we may have to zoom in a little bit to understand how the bar chart works. So there you go. Now you can kind of see a little bit more of a definition of it. So this is how the bar chart works. It gives you the full range of the day. The open is on the left and the close is on the right. So the open, range, close, open, range, close, that kind of thing. Or if you're a fan of Higanashi candles, then you can also use those too. So these are Japanese candles that give you a sense of where the momentum is going, right? So if it's green, the momentum is, going up. If it's red, the momentum is going down. If it's just green, the momentum is up. So it's a lot different than the actual, and, the wicks are different as well. Bodies are different than your standard, candles. As to where the wicks are kind of on each side, the bodies may not be as full, things like that. So Higanashi candles can be useful especially if you're trading in a trending environment. That way you can kind of tell when the pullbacks are coming, how the pullbacks are going to come, things like that. I know a lot of you look toward or want to use these indicators that are going to be the end all be all, that are going to tell you exactly how to trade, and it's going to be the perfect thing. There is no such thing as a perfect indicator. I'm going to tell you that right now. What you can do, though, is you can use indicators in conjunction with, support and resistance, pivot levels, things like that, that give you a good idea as to what the price may be doing. And I think a good example of that, if I actually want to pull this up, which I do, I'm going to pull up Bitcoin, right? And it didn't save what I had on there yesterday. So anyway, what I wanted to show on Bitcoin was this rally up, right? This rally up. If you come down here and you look at the RSI, right, what you see is RSI as relative strength index, right? So it kind of tells you what kind of strength that whatever is on the chart is holding, whether it's a commodity or cryptocurrency or it's a index or anything like that. What you see is a huge oversell right here, right? October 21st. Back down, you see an oversell right here on November 5th, but it's not as much oversold as it was previously, but the price is a lot higher. And then you have another oversold again here on November 18th, but then again, the price is a lot higher. So what that's called, that is called divergence, right? So if we were to take a trend line and kind of go like this, that would be, kind of your divergence, letting you know that your strength in the Bitcoin has been going down to where Bitcoin has actually been going up from this point. So what does that mean? Well, that means usually whenever it gets to a very high point, a point to where there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Support or resistance, a lot of resistance. So right around here was that top, right? Whenever we had that top in 2018, it got near that top. At the same time, your RSI is going down. A lot of people predicted, I saw this, from on Tradingview, people are going to say that's going to be a big drop, toward, the top. And sure enough, it happened. Because we were able to kind of look at the RSI going up toward that high, and then all of a sudden it drops, and then the RSI drops out with it. So those are the kind of things that you can kind of put in there and put together to try to conclude what could happen. And you could do that with a different indicator as well. Another good indicator, you can use this. Oh, that's compare symbol. The FX is the indicator. So if I wanted to use a MACD, right? MACD does the same thing here. So if we see the MACD waves, how they're going up and up, usually that's on the buy side. So MACD sell and buy signals are going up, and whenever they cross down, that's usually a sign to sell. So as you can see, there was divergence. These were going up on the MACD. At the same time with Bitcoin, it was going up as well. And then all of a sudden, we saw the change in the MACD. And you can also see it if we get a little bit closer, and I can get you let me see here. Let me actually do some settings to the MACD. You can change settings going here. You can change the colors, the MACD, the signal. You can actually take those lines off if you want and just use the oscillator. But sometimes the MACD signal lines help. And then what I like to do is I like to put in the simple oscillators for both. What that kind of does is it gives the histogram a lot more, gives it a little bit better definition, more vibrant colors, things like that. So here's your MACD. You can kind of see it moving, and then you can see how it switches from basically what this kind of measures is your momentum. So momentum was going down, it goes up, momentum down, but your MACD and your signal lines are both above. It comes back up, meets, goes back down. So that's not a good sign. Whenever you have a double momentum going down, that's kind of leading you to let you know something is going to start going the other way. So then it comes up one last final time for the positive momentum, and then the negative momentum starts sinking. So people saw this, reading this kind of stuff. That's how you can use these signals in conjunction with price action to understand how these work. Now, my favorite ones that I like to use have to do with one is commitment to traders. But commitment to traders will only be used for those that those kind of things that have futures, because that's where commitment to traders are. That's where the big institutions, also the smaller institutions like hedge fund managers, things like that, and people like you and me, we're to invest in futures. It gives kind of a breakdown of how each category does invest in each of those. And I'll get to a different scenario with the commitment to traders. But I also like the anything with open interest. So I like these two: open interest stochastic money flow, and also open interest money flow index. These are actually very, very good indicators. Now they have the money flow off futures. So what you can do, if you don't want it off futures, you can change it to others. And I think that would be appropriate. Actually, well, Bitcoin does have futures, so I would actually change that to, instead of others, to futures, right? So it kind of gives you this stochastic, right? A stochastic, and it also gives you, when to buy, when to sell kind of thing. Not 100% accurate, but then again, if you're, if you see this and maybe you're using it in conjunction with RSI, right? And you're seeing that's getting toward a top, and the RSI starts, saying, hey, this is probably way oversold, but it's not showing oversold, on the RSI. But then this guy comes in and says, sell here. At the same time you're looking at that, more than likely that's probably a good bet that you can sell there. So you can use these in conjunction. Same thing with the open money flow interest. Whenever it's above, that means it's probably more than likely to sell, right? Whenever it gets below here in the red, that's when it's more likely to buy, especially once it gets down to this line here, which I think is the 20 line. Yeah. So once it gets down the 20 line, that's kind of an indicator to buy. And then you also have a buy on this oscillator here. So using these two in conjunction are actually really, really helpful, because at this point, this would actually probably be a good buying opportunity, right? As you can see with Bitcoin at the time, it probably been a good scalping buy opportunity, right? So it was at 16.7, moved up to, what is it now, 18 something. So, that's not bad. It's like 1,000 points for Bitcoin. If you're a trader, that's what, if you're even investing in like 10 cents, that'd probably be somewhere in like $10, $20, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really trade a whole lot of Bitcoin on there, but yeah, that's what these different things can do. So that's why I like using indicators, especially in conjunction with reading price action, because they can tell you different things, right? Let's say if you're not into NIO and you're into, I think I said Tesla earlier, right? Tesla has basically a huge history, to where it was nothing for a while and now it's skyrocketed, right? It's just been going nuts. Question is, it's probably going to sell soon, to be completely honest, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of getting oversold, and you can see that here in the RSI. Yeah, so now the RSI is really high. More than likely this is going to start selling, and then you're going to look for an area that it's going to come to, and once it comes to that area, that's probably going to be a good place to buy. Would be somewhere around in here to where all this congestion is, because that is where you're going to see all the order blocks. So that's for those investors. Now, over on the let's see, there's a lot of things you can do too. You can add text to your chart. You want to say, hey, point here, things like that. If you're a harmonics trader, so let's say you like to do the whole bat thing or whatever, let me see if I can't get a good harmonics trade in here, which I think I see one. So you start here. Here's X, A, B, C, and then didn't actually get down to a D, but if there was a D, it'd be here, right? So the D point is to where you'd either buy or sell. If the D's on the bottom, you buy. If the D's on the top, you sell. So there's kind of a little harmonic there. I wouldn't consider a full harmonic, because D's usually want it to be either lower than that point or close to that point or something like that. But this was kind of a harmonic trade. So if you wanted to use harmonics, those things are available in here. You also have objects that you can put in here as well. Like I'm going to put in a little plus sign or something. I actually like to use the the arrows. That way I can kind of point to something really quick, and then I'll use text, and then I'll be like, you know, order block, something like that. And so then I know where my order block is, you know, different things like that. You can also, if you're in a sell or something like that, here's where you can kind of put where you're, you know, if you're trading, let's say you got into a sell right here, right? So here you can kind of, you know, if you want to look at your previous history and say, okay, it's probably not going to get above this area. So if I get to this area, you know, it's more than likely going to go higher. So go ahead and kick me out since I'm in a sell. But I do plan to get on down to here. So then it'll kind of, you know, if you're in this sell, you can kind of look at it and see how the progress is doing. And then also, if you get to a certain point, you're like, oh no, I don't like this sell, you can jump out. So that's just kind of a good, you know, thing to show, hey, this is, you know, the trade that I'm in, and this is what I'm hoping to expect to get out of it. You know, you can do the same thing for going the opposite way. If you wanted to go long, you know, you wanted to buy there and then go there, different things like that. You have a ruler as well, so you can kind of, you know, in case you're at one point you wanted to see how much that would have made, it would have, you know, put up here and been about, it says 200 and something. Yeah, that's about $200 right there. So that's the difference between $200 in Tesla. So that's an easy way you can measure that rather than trying to eye it and look over here or eye it and look over there. You can simply pull out the ruler bar, or you can click this date and price range. This is what I like about date and price range. You can click this and then go here, and it kind of, you know, hugs to it with the magnetic thing. So then what it does is it gives you the full price range, which is 233 from here to here. Gives you how many bars, and it also gives you how many, you know, and how long it took to get there, 30 days, 20 hours. So so these are all the different tools and stuff that you can use. On your right hand side, you can get a watch list, right? So I have different multiple lists that I have down here. I have bonds and commodities, so if I ever want to look up, you know, the 10-note future, and if I wanted to look up, you know, U.S. Treasury bonds, things like that, you know, you can put those in one specific category. I have a crypto category to where I have all my cryptocurrencies, and then I also have Forex to where I have all my you know, currencies that I watch. So also what you can do is you can save templates, right? So if I wanted to do my 30-year bond template, right, I click on this, and then it gives me the DXY, or the U.S. 30-year Treasury, right, as my main U.S. government bond 30-year yield as my main, and then I have all the other countries, right, as their bonds. So I have the pound, I have the German, which would be the euro. I have the Canadian, I have the Italian in here, I have the Spain. So I have those three to kind of give me a sense of how the euro goes, as well as the French. I have the Aussie dollar as well as the Japan dollar as well. So you can take a look at those and see how far in respect to each other they are with their 30-year yields, and what that's going to mean. So generally, price, especially in Forex, their currencies tend to go toward how their bonds are kind of shaped. So if they're, you know, if one's a little bit more slopey than the other one, then that one's probably eventually going to start going down. If one starts, you know, taking, you know, a little bit more of an approach in the upward manner, then the currency is more than likely to go upwards. So let me see what this one is here. This is the Italy one. I think it's the British pound. Yeah, the red one here. That has been a little bit more aggressive. It looks like it's lightened off a little bit, but you know, so these are different kinds of templates that you can put on here. One of the ones I have is actually called short-term money, short-term smart money. So that is the one with the open interest. And then I also have one, and let me go to something that has, yes, one, ES mini futures. There we go. So if we get on mini futures here, you can see I have the open interest and whatnot. But if I wanted to add in long-term, where's my long-term one? Yeah, here it is, 4-hour, weekly, daily. Has the same, but it also throws in the commitment to traders, right? So the commitment to traders shows you, the red is the large institutions, right? So COT style has the commercials, right? Is the red. Large speculators is the green, and the level's yellow. So your red is going to be like your major banks, like your Dutch bank, your Chase Bank, things like that. Those that have money invested in here. It looks like they've been adding longs throughout this entire process, and it looks like they've still been adding longs to the futures of the S&P minis. So what does that mean? Well, generally that means that probably S&P minis or S&P in general is going to go up soon. That's just a kind of general indicator of how the COT works, right? So you can kind of apply that. Let's say if I wanted to go to gold, same thing. The COT is there, as well as the open interest rates, things like that. And then so you just have this huge list that you can keep adding to. It's a simple way to add a new symbol. You just click add, find the symbol. Let's say if I just wanted to go with Ripple, there we go. Throw Ripple on my Forex one, and now I have Ripple on there. And you can set alarms, right? Set alerts for when a price gets to a certain point. Always different kinds of alerts. You also have the news. So if you want to check out the news, there's a huge thing of all the different kind of financial news that you can keep up with, especially if you're a stock trader. These things are very, very handy. Data window, not exactly for sure 100% what this means, but I'm sure once you're here long enough, you'll eventually get the feel for it. Here it is, US exchanges and volume. So looks like these are all the different, I guess, high end, or maybe those that are been increasing rapidly. Looks like that's what these stocks are here. Right, so it kind of gives you that. Also gives you like kind of like an economic calendar if there's different kind of news coming out lately. Also, if you post an idea and somebody actually likes your idea and has a comment on your idea, those will come up in the light bulb there. So these are my ideas. I click on it, and evidently some people have liked it. Maybe some comments on it, things like that. Notifications down here. So this will let you know if people have followed you, if people have commented as well, things like that. Cool thing about this is there is a chat, so you could have different chat rooms. People want to talk about cryptocurrencies. People want to talk about Forex. People want to talk about the stock indices. So you get a lot of ideas from people that are online trading these things right in real time, right? And there's also a direct messages as well. So here's a person I met, and we've been going back and forth about different ideas, primarily about the SPX and also cryptocurrencies and things and what to look for. So we've just been kind of sharing ideas on that. I think I already showed you this. Okay, so this is the ideas stream. So let's say you go to Bitcoin or something like that. Actually, let's go to the first page. Right, let's say you go to Ethereum and you say you want to follow Ethereum. So you click follow, right? And so whenever you go to this idea stream, people that have ideas for Ethereum are going to show up on this stream. So mine are EURUSD, as you can see. Those are the ones that here I have EURUSD. Here's a DXY. So these are things that I have been following, and people have posted their own. GPB odd. Here's the NASDAQ. So things that I have been following. People want to post ideas. I get to check them out and I look at them, see if I like them. Maybe I'll do an analysis on them to try to see if I can find something similar, if I want to go against it, things like that. So that is in general a real quick breakdown of Tradingview, what you can do, and how it can help you in your trading future. So I suggest everybody try to get Tradingview. It is definitely probably the most the best tool that you can have in modern trading. there is a free version. I definitely check out the free version for a while. But if you feel like, especially if you're going to be using this for a long time, like me, I've already got a year subscription out of the way. I had been doing monthly for a little bit, and then I just decided, screw it, with this Black Friday sale, I'm going to go ahead and just purchase the full, the full year's worth. To me, it was worth it. So I just wanted to give you guys a breakdown on Tradingview, how it works, what it can do for you, especially if you're learning technicals. This is the best place to practice it, and test your ideas. One thing I didn't go through, and I actually do want to go back and do it really quick, sorry guys, is I want to show you how to paper trade. So if you don't really, if you're kind of shy about trading and you don't know exactly what you're doing, best thing you can do is connect to paper trading, right? So if you go to paper trading, there would be like a way to connect. There's different brokers. I just click the Tradingview paper trading because that's the one I like. And then here you can actually set your trade. So if you want to go to market price and you wanted to buy it now, you can set up a limit order, or you can set up a stop order. So let's just say if I wanted to go to, right now it's just fake money. I think I had just a little bit over $100,000 and made some bad trades. So now I'm down to 91,000. And I'll probably just do a really quick trade for you guys just to show you how it works. Here, let me go ahead and push this down. So I'm going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is it looks really high to me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this to, let's go 250 since it's Ethereum, and we're going to sell Coinbase, sell Ethereum right now, right? So now this little line shows up, right? You can go back to the line. You can go to take profit. Let's say I want to take profit at 551, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit take profit at 551, right? My stop loss, I don't think it's going to get any higher than 593. So I'll go ahead and put 593, right? And then hit modify. And then there you go. Now you have your stop loss and your take profit, right? And then now you can see if your trade's going to actually work out or not, right? And then that way, if you're using this paper trade and you get more and more comfortable, then you actually get the idea of it and you start trading better. You start using it to trade on your own, and you become a better trader. And this is actually what's helped me, to be honest, more than anything, has been the paper trading. But that's all I got for you. Just wanted to throw that out there. If you guys are interested in signing up, if you don't want to do the Black Friday deal, that's fine. You can start off with, the $30 a month thing. They always do. It seems like the year-long thing, so it's not like it's urgent to get the Black Friday thing. If you just wanted to sign up, and get like, a 1 month subscription and just see how it works with the $30 one, the $20 one, whichever you wanted to do it, try it out for a month, see if it's for you, and then you can always switch to like the yearly plan. Or if you don't want to do it and you want to do it 4 or 5 months on the monthly plan, do it. Doesn't matter. But I would suggest that if you are going to be in the trading game for a while, definitely use this as a tool. I suggest it very, very much. And, it'll help you out in the long run. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. And hopefully I should see you soon making another one, right? Check out my videos from yesterday. Price action on Ethereum, price action on Bitcoin, with lessons on the market maker buy-sell model, and what that can mean for these cryptocurrencies. Check them out and see what you think. Give this video a like if you did think the content was good. More people are actually going to want to watch videos that have likes versus video that don't. So that would be great if you could give it a like if you like the content. Also, you can go ahead and subscribe if you want. I'll be producing more content like this on, recently on the more basis, I should say, more of a daily basis, hopefully. And I kind of dropped off there for a little bit, but I've been coming up with more videos lately. So I just kind of want to give, basic knowledge to people that don't understand, the world of trading. I've been doing it for quite a few months now. I've been investing for many, many years, but I haven't been actually actively trading until about April or May this year. Kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things, and been learning, and doing a lot better with it. Also, a book I would suggest to get, this book here. It's called Trades About to Happen. It's called A Modern Adaptation of the Wyckoff Method. It is a really good book. If you don't know anything about Wyckoff or anything like that, I would suggest you look him up. He was a great trader who thought, there was an operator behind, price action and things like that. Kind of goes along with smart money theory. His and smart money theory kind of intertwine sometimes. So it's a really cool book. So yeah, check it out. So anyways, after all that, I'm gonna get off of here and let you guys do your thing. Thanks again. Thank you for watching, and always to remember to keep your pants on. Just do it.